ridiculously late Monday Night Raw wrap up with your host, me, a very tired and very annoyed Geek Boy Meta. I will tell you all about the day that I've just had in a moment or two. Just to say to you guys that I've done my usual trick. I haven't quite actually finished watching Monday Night Raw. Basically, I've seen all of it and I've seen what happened, obviously, with AJ. Some of you would have joined me last night for the live stream, just paying tribute to AJ Styles. So I kind of covered that last night. I've seen it in most of it in parts, but I still need to see the whole segment. So I've got that to watch after I finish this, basically. Bit of housekeeping first, just to let you guys know, as per usual, this will be on YouTube podcasts and YouTube video, probably sort of tomorrow afternoon, give or take. And if you want some more wrestling, I will be on tomorrow night from a different location, actually, tomorrow. Taking the show out on the road, as it were. Yes, so I will be covering AEW Dynamite. Hopefully, there'll be some more chanting this evening. But yes, I will be covering that tomorrow, and then I'll be telling you about some bits and pieces I've got coming up. I've got a very, very exciting boy weekend coming up this weekend, which may have been ruined by a very large rat. I'll tell you all about that in a minute. And yes, Monday Night Raw. I suppose we better start there, really. Um, So those of you who will be listening on YouTube podcast, obviously you can't see my face at the moment unless you're watching it through a video, which you're more than welcome to do. So you probably can't see my slightly sarcastic reactions, but that was one of the worst Monday Night Raws that I have seen for many, many, many years. It was, I don't know who farted that out in creative, whether it was the agents, whether they were all just concentrating a bit on AJ Styles, because obviously it was his night, to be fair, so maybe they were trying to make the show less good to increase the impact of AJ's retirement, which shouldn't really be a thing, to be honest, for a paying crowd, but it was pretty diabolical from minute one until AJ came out for his retirement speech. Um, I have made some notes, and I've made lots of notes, but I mean, it was borderline offensively bad. Yes, it was that bad. I'll get into the minutiae in a minute. By the way, if anyone does want to join me, sorry, I know I'm doing this a bit late, so there might not be too many people watching, but if you do, just leave comments as per usual. I think I'm pretty much going to end up talking on my own most of the night, though. Give or take how today has gone, but that is absolutely fine. If you don't catch me tonight, you can catch me tomorrow. Yeah, it was just so bad. I don't really have the words for how bad that show was, to be honest, which is not very good, seeing as I'm meant to be analysing it as such. I, yeah, I mean, where do you start with how bad? I've seen some bad wrestling shows over the years. I really have. And you can't always have a good Raw, you can't always have a good SmackDown, you can't always have a good Dynamite, and so on and so forth. But this, like I said a minute ago, was so offensively bad. I mean, yeah, I really honestly do not have the words. So basically, I'll go through what's happened. I've got my little notes over here. If you're wondering what the glare is in my eyes, I'm looking at my laptop because I can't always remember everything that's happened. But basically, to start off, Cole and Graves were in the ring, basically promoting the whole AJ Styles as a bit all. And then they were interrupted by Gunther, which I mean, I could have told you that was going to happen. Gunther was sort of cutting this sort of nonsensical promo. Adam Pearce came out, told Gunther to leave. Gunther gave it bifters to the crowd. Then he was attacked by the incomparable Dragon Lee again, and it looks like we are going Dragon Lee versus Gunther. Now, that's my first area of complaint. So, if you're building some bloke up and calling him the career killer, bearing in mind in the last 7 months he's retired he's retired Goldberg, he's retired John Cena, and now AJ Styles, and you capitalise on that heat. No offense, by giving Gunther a program with Dragon Lee. Really, is that what we're doing? Um, I, I like I don't understand, unless WWE has a plan, which they obviously do. I don't understand why on earth Gunther is not simply in the Elimination Chamber. I mean, he doesn't have to win, but obviously you go on and I don't know, you maybe spin him off into a feud with Brock or something like that. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, Brock Lesnar could end up being the opponent for Gunther at WrestleMania for all I know. Maybe, who knows? But Dragon Lee, after you've retired three legends. I mean, I honestly, seriously, I was already pretty hot about the show at the start. I also have to say, I don't like criticizing wrestling crowds a lot. At the end of the day, I take the point that these tickets are ridiculously expensive. I've paid for them. I took me and the missus last year to go and my son to go and see WWE Leeds, and it cost me north of 250 quid for all three of us, which is a hell of a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, it was a really good show. My lads had a really good time, and it's a memory that I'll have for the rest of my life, and it was worth doing just to see the smile on his face and the happiness. He got to see Alexa Bliss, who is one of his favourite wrestlers. He got to do yeeting with his mom, and we had a really, really good time. We got to see CM Punk, Penta, who he really likes. Um, and it was worth doing on that point. But I mean, Jesus Christ, 250 odd quid to go and see wrestling is outrageous. So I mean, that's the tickets in England. I mean, I dread to think how much some of the Atlanta GA people paid that last night for those tickets. Bear in mind, Atlanta is a very expensive city. However, in saying all that, bearing in mind this was in Atlanta of all places, which is usually it's historically known for being a really hot wrestling city, that crowd was awful. They were absolutely just. There's a chant that us Liverpool fans get, and many fans get of top six teams in England, and it's quite deserved sometimes because we do get a lot of tourist fans and so on and so forth. That's not me having a dig, by the way, because technically I'm a tourist fan to Liverpool as well. But there is a popular chant that will go around Arsenal, go around Liverpool, go around Man United, go around Manchester City, going, "Is this a library? Is this a library?" You could have sang that to any member of that crowd in Atlanta last night. It was one of the worst crowds that I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm just pausing the AJ Styles thing, 'cause like I said, I haven't seen the whole thing, but just yet. Oh, Liverpool to get either Atlanta Madrid, Atletico Madrid, or Galatasaray. I will have Galatasaray. Thank you very much. Anyway, back onto wrestling. That crowd was awful, awful, awful crowd. They were so quiet. So when you watch wrestling, you shouldn't really be able to hear the switches and the instructions and so on and so forth. And don't get me wrong, you could barely hear anything from the wrestlers, but it was getting to the point where you could just about make out like them saying next move, next move, next move, because it was like cricket in that arena. It was absolutely awful. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't the Georgia Dome. I mean, the Georgia Dome's massive in Atlanta. I mean, I don't know if they've still got the Georgia Dome actually, but that was the place where Bill Goldberg beat Hogan for the WCW title. God, I'm dating myself now. In '99, I think it was. So you're talking. This is 27 odd years ago. One of the loudest crowds I've ever heard. But this was I mean, honestly, I have seen more noise at a funeral than I have at that. It would. I don't know if something had happened in the city or something like that, or whether they were just the most boring set of human beings ever to walk the face of the earth. But I mean, it was just look. If you're going to pay all that money, go and make some noise. You know what I mean? So let's have a look. It's on sub. It's and sub. Hello, it's and sub. They. Uh, okay, cool, nice one. Um, yeah, so I'll stop having a go at the crowd now, folks. But I mean, it was diabolical. It's like make some noise for F's sake, you know what I mean? But yeah, so the crowd horrendous. So then we moved on to Gunther being thrown out of the arena. But then we had a surprise from Cody Rhodes, because obviously Cody Rhodes is a native of Atlanta, GA. Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. Yay, everyone's happy again. But then Cody Rhodes then gets interrupted. So before the show's even got to the first match, we've had two lots of different feuds and two lots of interruptions on completely different things. Now, I'm like, immediately straight away, I was like, what is going on? So then, obviously, Logan Paul comes out with Vision. Well, what's left of the Vision, which I'll get onto in a minute. Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, who then ran down Atlanta because he's from Atlanta. Not that I knew that. I don't think anyone actually knew that, to be honest. And then, so Cody then goes silent, but then Cody is like, oh, yeah, we're going to get this guy out to beat you. Here comes Jey Uso. And everyone starts eating, and it's like, right, well, they've kind of got it back on track. It's a bit of a clunky opening, but you're like, well, these things happen sometimes. You think, right, I'll settle down and watch the match. And then we were treated, I say treated, to Chad Gable. I'm not calling him Americano anymore. Please end that feud, by the way. We were then treated to Chad Gable versus Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that should be a decent match. All three very very accomplished wrestlers, all three top guys. Great, cool. The entire thing was a train wreck, which has resulted in Bronson Reed basically. I'm not even sure what he's done. Tearing his bicep of it. He's already gone under the knife. Bronson Reed is now out of WrestleMania. We had the utter farce and spectacle of Chad Gable attempting a headbutt from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring and missing Jey Uso's head by at least 8 inches, maybe 6 inches. I don't know. Jey Uso attempted to do a suicide dive out of the ring and very nearly tripped himself upon the ropes, and Gable had to help him. And then obviously, look, I know obviously the lads had to work with what they'd got because obviously they weren't anticipating. Allegedly, Bronson was meant to go over in this match, so that's fine. They've got work on the fly, and I know it's difficult. But Bully Ray actually said this on Busted Open. I did used to listen to Busted Open all the time, but I do not listen to Busted Open now because of Sirius FM and the company they keep, and I do not wish to be associated with people of that nature. Megan Kelly, excuse me. Yeah, you might think that's appropriate for 5-year-olds. I don't love. Anyway, but Bully, from what I'm given to understand, has made the point of basically saying, look, you've got to celebrate the fact that you've got to Elimination Chamber. It's not the result that was meant to happen, but Jey Uso basically spent all of his celebration basically looking distraught. I mean, Bronson Reed's probably a good mate of his in shoot life. Who knows? But like, you've got to kind of mask it a little bit. I mean, maybe he was look, and it's not me having to go to Jey, so maybe he was genuinely worried about one of his friends. I don't know, but I mean, that first match was. I mean, we've ended up with 2 injuries, and there could have been 2 further injuries. There was botch after botch after botch, and I never call wrestlers out for that. Oh, sorry. Hi, Savannah. How you doing? You all right? Welcome. I don't usually call wrestlers out for botches, folks. To be honest, look, they do an incredibly at times dangerous profession. I don't mean dangerous as in like a fireman or like a cardiac specialist or like a paramedic or anything along those lines, but just in respect of they do put their bodies on the line and they do take outrageous risks at times that could end up with them being paralysed and all sorts. So I will always be on the side of the wrestlers and I won't over criticize them. I know some people like doing botchamania and stuff, but it's just like, dude, just grow up. But not even I last night could excuse that. I mean, the dive that Jey Uso did was bloody dangerous. The headbutt that Chad, and I'm on about for their own safety. I mean, if Chad had got that wrong, and I appreciate he's got the mask on, but obviously when you do a dive from one side of the ring to the other, you your opponent's kind of got to help you, just in respect of like protecting your body and stuff. And Gable literally banged his head on the canvas. I wouldn't be surprised at all, and I've not heard anything to this effect, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a concussion. Seriously, I would not be surprised. I mean, it was just like, and this is Chad Gable as well. I mean, he's always struck me as like a very professional wrestler. You know what I mean? But it was just like, Chad? What on earth are you doing? You could have knocked yourself out, you daft idiot. You know what I mean? So, it, it, yeah, and I mean that was the start to Raw. So I'm sat there already going, wow. I mean, this is hot garbage. Let's have it right. In terms of the vision, look, I mean, my son actually came up with this phrase. I don't know if this is like an internet meme game thing, because obviously he's into all that sort of thing. But he told me about this thing a while ago on horror gaming called Cursed Stable or something on them. I'm an old man. I haven't got a clue what's going on about, to be quite honest. But a cursed stable. If there was a dictionary definition of a cursed stable, you just need to put a picture of the Vision in the dictionary. They now have Bron Breakker is out. Seth Rollins, who they had to work injure in the storyline, is out. God alone knows how long he's out for. Bronson Reed, look, I mean, if it's a torn bicep, look, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a physician or anything along those lines, but I mean, you'd imagine. I mean, if you're doing a normal job, obviously you could probably get away with surgery. Then you might be able to do some bits and pieces if you're an admin worker or something like that after maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know, but if you're picking up £250 blokes for a living every single night, or like 150 to 170 pound, £180 women every single night, you obviously need your biceps. And Bronson Reed is a very, very big man. I mean, he ain't making it back for WrestleMania. Let's just put it that way. I'd probably say Money in the Bank, which is what, July, maybe SummerSlam or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going to be. I feel so sorry for Bronson as well. This is like he's injured himself. Like they've had to do the X twice for Bronson now, because obviously he had that disaster where he literally, the poor bloke broke both his ankles in that dive at Hell in the Cell. Which CM Punk weirdly took credit for, actually, which is very, very odd. But swig of water for the working man. That was a long swig of water. So yeah, I'm literally watching this, and bear in mind now, this isn't the start of the show. This is like 35 minutes in, and I was just like, I know I've got to watch this because obviously it's kind of what I do for YouTube, but I could have turned it off then and there, quite honestly. But no, I thought to myself, right, let's just calm down, because I've had a very bad day today, folks, as well. So this really did not help, to be quite honest. I was like, let's just go on to the next segment and hopefully Raw will improve. And then came the segment when Liv Morgan chose her opponent. I mean, where do I start? Where do I start? They kept, and I'm assuming this was to do with timing, because maybe the Bronson match was meant to go on a bit longer or something, I don't know. But it kind of looked like they were having to do fillers and stuff during the episode. Maybe it was just me, I don't know, being overcritical. But they brought Dom and Liv out, And you know the bit where they go to they'll go to an advert break. So in the UK, basically, when it's on Netflix, we just get random wrestling adverts, and I'm assuming in the States and other territories, you get basically like normal people adverts kind of thing. And then typically it goes back, and then Michael Cole will say something along the lines of, and Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio are in the ring, blah, 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 and then they'll stop the promo. This must have gone on for 7 to 8 minutes. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it was well over 5 minutes. And I was just like, why are they still in the ring for? And you could tell they were stalling for time. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's no offence to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Obviously, they're like professional wrestlers and know how to do timings, and I'm sure they knew what they were doing. But you could kind of tell that they were like, this has been going on for a bit now. And you could see one or two people in the crowd. Maybe it was just me going, what the hell's going on? And then eventually they started the segment, and I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. So they bring Stephanie Bakira out. By the way, she needs to be a heel. I keep saying this. I love Steph. I really, really do. But she's a heel. She's not a babyface. Anyway. But in saying that, it was a really good babyface promo that she did the other week. But even that was quite heelish kind of thing. So they bring Stephanie Bakira out, and then they bring Jade Cargill out. And again, it is me nitpicking, and it's not childish, but it is me being old man shouting at the clouds. But when Jade Cargill comes out, and I won't do the demonstration obviously because I'm not quite as built as Jade Cargill, to say the least. She usually comes out with a storm is coming, and then she comes out and she's got the spotlight, and they've got all the smoke and stuff, and then she does the, you know, bicep curl thing, and then she walks along. There was no smoke. They started the song halfway through, and they didn't spotlight Jade either. Like, she's usually like a silhouette in the black, and then as she lowers out her arms, the silhouette comes away, and then you actually see Jade Cargill. She literally just came out and went, all right, and then just walked to the ring, and I'm just like, I mean, who booked that? Whose idea was that? I was just literally at this point. I mean, it got to the point. It was actually I was. Bearing in mind, I get Netflix for free. Well, I mean, I don't get Netflix for free, obviously, but I mean, with your subscription, obviously, you get to watch Raw in effect for free. And it was getting to the stage where I was just like, this is actually becoming extremely annoying. And I mean, then the promo from Liv was fine, but it was blatantly off. It was obvious they were going to choose Stephanie Vickers. I think looking back on it, they should have just had Liv declare for Steph. I don't know why the Jade Cargill thing was necessary. Maybe it's to give Jade something to do. And looking at the women's Money in the Bank, sorry, Elimination Chamber. See, even I make mistakes. Looking at the Elimination Chamber, I mean, I really, really hope it's Rhea Ripley because, I mean, other than that, in terms of faces, I'm not really seeing other options. I mean, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley would be good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know now what they do with Io because obviously Io lost her match, which I was quite surprised about. I'll get on to that in a minute as well. And then Stephanie Vickers, who's she's actually physically looking at Liv Morgan all the time, hasn't taken her eyes off her, right? Liv Morgan takes a turn, takes a smile, and literally gets the microphone, and Stephanie Vickers like, and the fall she did. I mean, again, I'm not having a go at Vickers. And look, she's not an actor at the end of the day. She's a professional wrestler. I'm not asking you to deliver like Shakespearean acting. But she literally just went. It was like one of those comedy falls that you used to get on British It was like something out of Monty Python. That scene where John Cleese hits that fella in the face with a wet fish. I think it was Michael Palin actually. Yeah, it was Palin and John Cleese. It's like one of those in British comedy where someone goes and they literally go, or like it was just like an Acme thing when they used to drop like anvils on people's heads and they would go, and I was just like, and I mean, the crowd. I mean, the crowds. I mean, they'd already been lost, to be honest. But um, I was just like, at this point, I was seriously considering turning it off and just watching very brief highlights on YouTube, and then just doing my live stream after that for the podcast, and just going, yeah, I've seen all of it. It was great. Um, so yeah, to make it worse, we then went on to this. I like Javon Evans. He's my son's new favorite wrestler now because obviously he's fun, he's witty, and he's silly, and this, that, and the other. So I do like Javon Evans, and I don't know who this rapper dude is. Look, my extent of rapping current knowledge is Nas, Tupac, Jay Z, and Eminem. I have been out of hip hop music for a very long time, so this little Yahtzee guy. Look, if he's famous, fair play. I haven't got a clue who this fella is at all. To be honest, it doesn't mean anything to me. Um, and then we had this cringe segment with the New Day. I mean, seriously, the whole Grayson Waller's another one. It's not me having a go at Grayson. Look, they could do something with that guy. He's got a fantastic look, Grayson Waller. He really has. And they have ruined that man by sending him to the New Day. I don't know what that act is meant to be. I don't know if they're just meant to be funny. I don't know if they're heels. I don't know what it is that they actually are. But they are just a bargain basement, low end attraction now. Um, as a fellow Ghanaian of Kofi Kingston, what a waste of a talent. Um, Xavier Woods, to be fair, is a very, very good wrestler as well. I actually think Xavier Woods potentially. I'm sure Xavier Woods will be wrestling for a good 10 years yet, but I think he could be an excellent heel manager or a heel commentator. I reckon he will be definitely a very good manager. And I could see him doing comms, maybe with like Corey Graves one day. Who knows? But I mean, the segment. I'm not even going to go into it. It was just atrociously bad, to be honest. Um, I'll stop complaining in a minute, folks. But literally, just when you thought Monday Night Raw couldn't have got any worse. Oh, let's have a look. We have Alicia. Hello, Alicia. How you doing? You're all right. Um, Very cool name, by the way, if I've pronounced that right. Um, just when I thought Raw couldn't get any worse, Maxine Dupree then came out. Now, those of you who've watched me on this occasionally and regular subscribers will know, look, I have nothing against Maxine Dupree. She's a supremely talented athlete, clearly very talented young lady, great look, fantastic, and I'm sure with a bit of seasoning, she could be a very decent pro wrestler. I don't think she's there yet at all for my money. Personally, I would send her back to NXT. I don't like this character that they've given her. It just doesn't match with her at all for me, to be honest. Um, I definitely think there's a talented woman in there, very, very talented young lady, but there's something for me that's not quite right with the Maxine Dupree act. Take all that aside, Dupree comes out to this brand new music, and I, I don't know who the band are. I don't know who invented the song. It was like British pop music from the late 1990s. So I don't know if anyone can remember this far back. It was like S Club 7, A1 meets Britney Spears meets I'm trying to think of the atrocious bands we used to have. Meets the Spice Girls, meets the Backstreet Boys. I mean, as in cringe. I mean, frankly, Aqua, Jedward, as low as you can get. This song was, I mean, it was ear piercingly horrendous. I was literally like, it was one of those, those films where you get like someone that scrapes nails on chalkboard. This song's going on, and it's like that. I was just like, who the put this song on? So I was just like, what the hell is that all about? Then, just to cap it off, because she was facing Natty, and I was really looking forward to the Natty Neidhart character, and hopefully um, they can still do something with Natty, because the low key legend thing that she did on the Independence was really really good, and I'm hoping they can still do something with it. They need to get her away from Maxine ASAP. Um, they had a fight, and then they go to the outside, and Natty throws Maxine into the post, which usually, for those of you who watch wrestling, as long as I do, if someone gets hit to the post, they basically fall to the floor and then they start rolling around going, my head, and oh God, the world is ending, blah, 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 the usual stuff that the babyface gets to elicit sympathy. Maxine Dupree gets thrown into the post and is rendered unconscious. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm literally sat there going, I do not believe what I'm watching here. It's just like, did Triple H have a competition with quite a few of the head writers and the agents to go, who can make the most horrendous pile of shit out of all these segments, and whoever wins it gets a Ferrari or something? I was just like, who came up with this nonsense? I mean, look, if you got pushed into a post in real life, obviously it goes without saying, you would probably stand a very good chance of being knocked out. That's fine, not a problem. But in WWE or any wrestling for that matter, I've maybe seen it once or twice, but you do it with like a jobber or something like that. But it just makes Maxine Dupree look stupid. It, like I don't know if it's a way of writing her off or something like that. But like, if you are going to show the Natty character, just have her go mental, have her hitting her with a wrench or something like that, or a cricket bat or something. I don't bloody know, or a baseball bat. Like, have her do something meaningful. But pushing the woman into a post, I'm just like, who came up with this garbage? So honestly, at this point, I'm giving serious thought to turning Monday Night Raw, and I will always, as a wrestling fan, watch the whole show, even if it's bad. Because yeah, I'm a completist. I don't like sacking off things and then not watching them till the end, even if they are an absolute shower of shite. But this was it's got to be one of the top 10 worst wrestling shows that I have ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely dreadful. And then though, again, those of you who will be listening on podcast tomorrow, you'll get the whole dead air thing. That was me taking a slurp of water. I am constantly drinking water for those of you who are just watching me for the first time, so I do apologise if I go blank. Anyway, then we got Trick Williams, who is on SmackDown. So we've already had two lots of SmackDown people now. And then Trick Williams, for once for a better phrase, hey Johnny, you're alright, lad, how you doing? Trick Williams then cuts what I can only describe as a babyface promo. Super over with the crowd, he's got him chanting behind him. He does the lemon pepper steppers, which is very, very cool actually. He's going on about chicken wings and blah 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 and this, that, and the other. He does the whole what that trick thing. Whole crowd's into it. Trick Williams actually was probably the most over person last night in the whole show, other than AJ Styles. Sorry, the previous night, because this was on Monday. Obviously, this is Monday Night Raw, which will track. But again, Trick Williams is supposed to be a heel. And again, old man shouting at the clouds, and I am a traditionalist. I like baby faces versus heels. I don't mind my edgy baby faces. I grew up in the era of Stone Cold Steve Austin, where the lines were blurred. Roddy Piper was always a massive favourite of mine. He walked that line with Austin, so, and you can do it with a few characters, and that's absolutely fine. But it's like, what are we doing? Is Trick Williams a good guy now? Basically, is that what we're doing? I mean, look, he's always kind of been like that bit in NXT as well. So I'm assuming he's a good guy now. But I mean, at least give us a build up. I mean, I I do wonder whether Trick Williams maybe was in the backstage for some reason. I don't know, because you would imagine WWE have got contingencies for if someone gets injured, like Bronson Reed, for example, the other night, where they'll go, right, we've got a plan B. If this goes wrong, then we'll bring this wrestler out and they'll go for it and so on and so forth. You would imagine an organisation like WWE will not just say, someone's injured, throw out Penta, or something like that. They'll have contingency plans, and I'm just. It came across very much as Trick Williams was a contingency plan. I could be completely wrong about that. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know. But again, it was just, and honestly, folks, it got slightly better towards the end. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the AJ thing because I talked about that last night. Because your boy was not bouncy. Your boy was very emotional. Um, Then we got to the Brock Lesnar segment, and I mean, I've lost the will to live at this point. I really, really have. Um, Lesnar comes out with Heyman. Heyman has always been the mouthpiece for Lesnar, and that's fine. He always has been. But Lesnar started talking a lot more recently. I mean, this is the thing that annoys me about the Heyman thing. Sometimes, obviously, they're one of the greatest double acts of all time. Don't get me wrong, in pro wrestling, definitely, 100%. Paul Heyman to me is God. He was ECW, and I will always love Paul Heyman. Not necessarily the most trustworthy bloke in the world in the past, but a decent fella all the less, and one of the greatest personalities in pro wrestling history. Brock Lesnar can talk. He's actually, if you listen to him, when he does it off the cuff, he's actually a really good promo. I mean, if you watch some of his UFC stuff as well, I mean, some of the promos that he was doing, because obviously he's had wrestling training, that he would do for the fights, I mean, they were absolutely bloody revolutionary. So the bloke can talk. And if, obviously there was no physicality with Lesnar last night, so you've literally just gone on, he just basically said, hello everyone, here's Brock Lesnar. Look at him. Oh, look, there's Brock Lesnar. Wow. And then he walks off. And I'm like, what? Is he not going to throw a car door at someone? Or something like that? Sorry, that was a little inside joke there. Hi, Johnny, you alright, mate? And yeah, they just waffled on. I mean, it was a decent promo by Heyman, don't be wrong. But, like, then they went to Brock Lesnar will be having an open challenge for WrestleMania, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. And the other thing is they then ran down the entirety of the Raw roster by basically calling them all chicken shits, essentially, for basically saying that no one has the guts to get into the ring with Brock Lesnar. Well, it's like, and I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised at all if Heyman actually pointed this out in the back. But it's like, well done, you've literally just discredited half of your roster. Like, I mind blown. I mean, who he's going to face? Look, I mean, surely it's got to be Obafemi. But then, just before the Brock Lesnar thing, which makes me slightly worried, we had this interaction again with Obafemi and Rusev. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Rusev. He's a very good wrestler, decent fella. But mid-carder. Obafemi is not mid-carder. Obafemi needs to go to the moon now. He is ready, basically. Restart your stream, mate. Chat isn't working. Chat isn't working. It looks like it is. I'll check, Johnny, but I'm fairly sure I'm on. Let me just go on my channel. Oh, the chat isn't working. Ah, right. Right, folks. Unfortunately, I can't check because my laptop is now not working. Oh, dear God. Whenever I type anything that isn't emoji or say hi button, the chat doesn't send. I have no idea, Johnny, in that case then. Folks, if you are struggling with the chat, I well basically apologise. I wouldn't have a clue how to even sort that out. To be honest, let me have a look at my phone. Um, let me see if that does anything. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Does that do anything? No, it does not. Yes, I. Long story short, folks. I have no idea. Um, yeah, like I said, Johnny, it's coming. It's coming through on my end. I just don't know why it's not coming through here. I mean, this actually sums my day up today. To be honest, I'll tell you a quick story actually. So, um, my alarm didn't go off for work, so I was late for work. Um, I forgot to bring my lunch to work, so I basically starved till I got home. Then I missed two buses because they got first buses that got cancelled in Leeds. Those of you who live in Leeds will know that we are basically rubbish in terms of buses. So I got home ridiculously late and then walked through the door, and the first thing the wife says, "I don't believe this. We've got a rat in the kitchen, chicken." And I was just like, Jesus Christ Almighty. And then I've seen Raw, and now my comment section doesn't work either. So yeah, I'm going to be honest, folks. I'm pretty much going to go to bed pretty soon and just forget today has ever happened because it's been a bit of a freaking disaster, to be honest. Yes, let me just have a look on my laptop. I'll just take through the other things as well, just quickly. So yeah, the Brock Lesnar thing was just stupid, basically, as far as I'm concerned. Then they wheeled out CM Punk, and I mean, it was like crickets. I mean, bearing in mind CM Punk their is the biggest star in WWE now that Cena has gone. Let's have it right. Them and Roman. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna click on my own stream. I don't like clicking my own stream because I don't mind doing this, but like I don't like actually seeing myself when I'm doing it, kind of thing. To be honest, Johnny, it could be we're having. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but we're having horrendous connectivity problems in this house at the minute. It's taken me about 3 hours to watch Raw on Netflix tonight because the internet keeps cutting out. But thank you for letting us know, mate. It just in general, I don't know. I don't know what long term I'm gonna do. Um, yeah, it's coming through. So I'm on my stream at the minute, and it seems to be working. But on the phone, it's saying they, but you're putting yo. Mate, I haven't got a clue. Thanks for telling me, Johnny. But long story short, I haven't got a clue, mate. To be completely honest. So, yeah, sorry, folks, if you are putting comments on, you're not seeing anything. It's not me being a dick. But thanks for letting us know, Johnny. If you want to just put any comments, I will answer them in later life, basically. Um, yeah. So yeah, because this will be coming on this video tomorrow, so you can just add any comments that you want to. So, like I said, folks, to be honest, I have a very horrendous. It's another horrendous day to go to tomorrow as well. So I'm literally going to be finishing off in the next 5 minutes, and then it goes. Just very quickly, the CM Punk promo was a bit meh. The crowd didn't react to it at all. I mean, basically, by the time they wheeled Punk out, I mean, the whole thing was an unmitigated disaster. And then we had EO versus Rikishi. God, that would be funny, wouldn't it? EO versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane. And I just took it as read that EO Sky was going to win, and EO Sky did not win. Raquel Rodriguez won. And the crowd, it was the one time the crowd actually got into it to support EO Sky. And Io Sky's not at the chamber, so what that means for her and Rhea, I I'm assuming they keep belts, but I mean, unless they're going to do double duty with Io and Rhea. Um, I've just thought. I wonder if I've disabled, folks. I'm just wondering, thinking on the fly, because, like I said, I'm not the most cleverest bloke in the world, as Johnny will tell you, with my technology. I'm just wondering, actually, have I done something stupid like disable the comments? While I'm finishing off, I'm just going to have a quick look. So, yeah, what that means for Rio and Rhea, I mean, I've got no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I'm assuming that it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I mean, I'm trying to think who else is in the match. I mean, surely it's good. You'd imagine it's going to be Rhea and Cody Rhodes that win both of these chamber matches, but I mean, we could be wrong. Could be wrong. I don't know. And then obviously you had the AJ Styles tribute that I talked about last night, and yeah, that was super emotional. Like I said, I'm going to watch the whole thing now just before I go to bed because I've seen obviously the clips. I saw the 10-minute thing, but I've not seen the whole segment, so I'm going to watch that now. But like I said, guys, thank you for the people that watched me last night. I was super emotional about it. I'm still not. I don't want AJ Styles to retire. And like I said, like I said last night, I'm glad he gets to go home to his family. He's made his money, and he can carry on having a good life with his family and his kids and his missus, and that's fantastic. But from a selfish point of view, I would have loved AJ Styles for another 3 or 4 years. But if he doesn't want to do it anymore, he doesn't want to do it anymore. So that's absolutely fine. And then it's very, very cool that Taker basically. See, yeah, it's. I'm looking at myself down. The stream actually, for a change, is not actually that bad. I just don't understand why the comments thing isn't working. Yeah, because I'm watching my YouTube now. Let's have a look. I'm just gonna have a look one more time. But look, I'll apologise in advance, folks. Like I said, I am not a technology guru by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, my lad had to explain how to set this up for me in the beginning. He's like 12 years old. I have I have no idea, basically, guys. In fact, I tell you what, have you seen We're Screwed? We'll definitely go for Atletico. I have seen it, Johnny, but yeah, no, it's definitely about Atletico, mate. It ain't gonna be Galatasaray. So, definitely not. In fact, tell you what, I'm gonna put something on the chat. Just give me 1 second. Right, that's my comment. I'm gonna see if that comes up now. Right, so I've just put a comment on my own thing on the laptop, and I don't even think that's no, folks. I've got no idea. Leave it with us. Like I said, I'm having like all sorts of technology problems with it, and it's definitely something to do with this house at this point because I did a live stream last night in Leeds City Centre. Every single comment came up. So, like I said, if you're hearing me, folks, well, it looks like everyone can hear me. If you're putting comments on, I do apologise. They're not being picked up at the minute for some stupid reason. I don't know. It's probably because I walked under a ladder when I got up this morning, and it just caps off a supremely horrendous day. But there we go. But yeah, just to finish up, folks, that was truly one of the worst Monday Night Raws that I've ever seen. And like I said, it's nothing to do with the performers. They've tried the best and everything. Sometimes these things do not work. Look, I'm sure Raw will be fine next time. It's very rare actually that I've complained about Monday Night Raw in the last 2 or 3 years, but I mean it was really poor last night. It was really, really poor. I don't even think I've got a match of the night. I'd probably the Raquel versus Ira versus Kyra. I think all three of the ladies worked extremely hard. Um, yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you what the other matches were. I mean, the Bronson match has ended up being an unmitigated disaster. Because obviously now Bronson Reed's out of WrestleMania. So, yeah, no, it was a very, very, very bad day at the office and basically has mirrored the shit of a day I've just had as well, which now ends with me not being able to do comments thanks to my mate Johnny and coming across like a complete dick who isn't reading them. So again, folks, just to reiterate, it's not me not reading your comments. I just cannot do anything with them basically. So yeah, if they are coming up, I apologise profusely. I think my plan is to go to Talk HQ and throttle every single one of their engineers at this point. But yes, no, I will try and work on a solution at some point. Look, the weather's starting to get better now anyway. I want to start doing a lot more of these outdoors because I quite enjoy doing them outdoors now. Really enjoy going around Wellington Place and Kirkstall and Leeds University. So I'm going to be doing quite a few of these outdoors now anyway, probably at different times. So yeah, hopefully this won't be a problem for too much longer. Anywho, I am afraid I'm going to give Monday Night Raw a D minus. It was terrible, simple as that. And no offense to Papa H and Co, they're lucky I'm not giving it an F because it was genuinely awful. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Again, really sorry about the comments and stuff. Yeah, Mr. Technology, I am not, sadly. So, yes, these things happen. But thank you for everyone that did tune in. It is appreciated. And thank you, Johnny, for pointing it out as well. I will try and do some. Look, to be honest, mate, I guaranteed, because I'm doing this on my phone, because my mate Finn the other day told me that my all singing all brand new laptop, which I'm supposed to be doing live streaming on, that the streaming froze. So I can't use the laptop to do streaming, which was the whole plan. So I've had to go back to the mobile phone basically. And I can guarantee when I end this stream, there'll be a button that says something on lines of comments hidden. I can pretty much guarantee that that's what's happening. It'll be something to do with me. So that, like I said, to quote Ryback, I'm stupid. Anyway, right, just very, very quickly, folks, before I head off and go to sleep, and hopefully will never have to refer to this day for the rest of my life because it's been dreadful. Right, just some housekeeping at the end. I will be back on tomorrow night, we hope, for the AEW Dynamite review. That one should be fine because I'm going to a mystery location tomorrow. Batley. Yeah, no, I've been given a property to use tomorrow. I'll just leave it at that. That is slightly nicer than mine. Thank you and shout out to the person who has lent me the property. You know who you are, and I love you very much. So yeah, I'll be doing AEW Dynamite wrap up tomorrow. I might be doing a live stream about something a bit different, about a certain film called Scream 7, which is out this weekend. I'm a huge Scream fan and a huge horror movie person, so super looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I don't get paid until Friday, so I haven't actually got my tickets yet, so that might be a bit of an issue, because the Wald and his wife is going to want tickets for Scream. So I'm going to do like an out of cinema live reaction to it kind of thing. I don't know how it's going to work just yet, but just leave it with us for that one. So if you are a Scream fan and you've seen the film, I'll be on sort of Friday afternoon / early evening talking about it. And again, if you are a Scream fan and you're not planning on watching it before Friday, spoiler alert, do not watch the live stream, and I will put it in all caps in the description. Spoilers, do not watch. So there we go. Saturday is going to be a very interesting day. Liverpool play West Ham, yay. Which one would hope would be fairly straightforward, but again, this is Liverpool Football Club this season. I'm sure it will not be straightforward, and it will require some sort of last-minute winner or some miraculous save from Alison Becker or something on them lines. But yes, um, it's probably going to be another Teeth Gnasher, I would have thought. So yes. Anyway, long story short, I'll be doing live reaction to Liverpool West Ham. I'm thinking about doing that outdoors and combining that with shopping, because that's how exciting I get. So yes, I'll be I'll be going live at some point after the game. I will also be going live for a second time theoretically for Elimination Chamber, but that'll be at like 2:30 in the morning. Plus, I will be having a little bit of the bubbly. So just as a warning, I might not be quite as compass as I am at this precise moment. And then on the Sunday, I am having 3 hours sleep because then me, Mrs. Meta, and Baby Meta are going to York Racecourse Ground for York Comic Con. So obviously, quite a few of you subscribed to me for like the Comic Cons and stuff. And thanks everyone for watching the leagues one the other day. That was boss. So there'll be a vlog. The usual that I do on the channel, so there'll be a vlog, shorts, and I will try and do some live streaming while I'm there as well. York's not always the best with the live streaming, but I will try and go round once live if I can do. Can I also just recommend if you are anywhere near York, it's a fabulous day out if you are a Comic Con nerd type person. Really cool stuff to buy, really cool cosplay, and it's the York Racecourse Ground is absolutely massive. So if it's getting heaving, there's a whole canopy area outside that you can go and have your lunch and get away from all the hectic stuff. It's really good, so I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, the vlog and shorts will be out. What day are we on now? That will be on Sunday at 8 o'clock at night, theoretically. So yeah, massive weekend coming along for the channel, which I was really looking forward to until I realised that there's now something wrong with my comment section. So yeah, great, awesome. Like I said, it's very likely that your idiot boy has literally just pressed a button saying, "Don't let the comments work." It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, folks, to be quite honest. Also, just very quickly going into next week, Monday Night Raw. This is a bit of a random thing that you guys don't need to know about, but I'm actually going to the gym. I'm actually getting fitter and stronger, as Peter B. Parker once said, because I was getting fat. And I mean, I am extremely fat now as it is, but I was getting fat. So I managed to go to the gym last 3 weeks, and I want to keep that up because I'm trying to get back into my physical fitness and get back to the shape that I used to be in. Anyway, long story short, the reason I'm telling you that is I've been going on a Tuesday to the gym, which was when I was doing the live streams, which then means that I've not had time to watch Raw before I do the live stream. So I might move Monday Night Raw reaction permanently to this time, except when the Mighty Reds are playing, of course, because there's a lot of crossovers between Liverpool and wrestling and so on and so forth. So leave that one with us. I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do about that yet. Is there anything else I need to tell you about? I will be doing AW Revolution in about 2 weeks' time as well. That should be good. On the Sunday night, that I just found out that it's going to be on Sunday night. So I'm not sure how that's going to work because I have no more annual leave and I need to be in at work 9:30. So that might be an hour's sleep, jobby. But yeah, that's all coming up. Also as well, just very quickly, guys, for the Liverpool guys amongst you, guys and girls, you might have seen this on my shorts, but I will be going back to Anfield to see the Legends game. Yay, really looking forward to that. Me and the bro are heading down there, should be really good. We've both been given well, not me, bro, but I've been given a wife pass for the entire weekend. I'm very much looking forward to this. So we're going down to Manchester Friday night, then going to Liverpool Saturday, spending the whole day in Liverpool. So there'll be the Legends game, which is the Borussia Dortmund match. Jurgen Klopp's going to be there. Thiago Alcantara's been confirmed. Steven Gerrard. This is going to be absolutely freaking awesome. So as per usual, I'll tell you more at the time, obviously, but there'll be the usual match day vlog, travel vlog, and shorts of all the goals, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. And that is this time next month on Saturday. Yeah, a month on Saturday, basically. So yeah, that should be really good. Also, as well, going back to wrestling, I will be getting my AEW Wembley tickets in 3 weeks on Friday. I think they come out on something like the 20th, something along those lines. I'm not totally sure, but yes, I will be getting those soon. They come out, and then obviously that will be in August. And again, it of course goes without saying, there will be vlogs, shorts, trips around London, football live streams, and so on and so forth. So because that's always my big weekend in London in August. Um, Hopefully I can get to see WWE this year as well. But yeah, leave that with us. Anyway, folks, thank you for those who watch. Johnny, you're a star, mate. Thank you very much for telling me about that. I'm going to now shout at my phone and hit it a couple of times, and then I'm going to go and chokeslam the Talk employees for the shit service that they're providing us. Yeah, thanks, lads. Really, really helpful. And yeah, tomorrow's another day. I'm going to go to bed and we'll start this whole mess again tomorrow because it can't be anywhere near as bad as the day I've just had today. Anyway, guys, I hope you've had a much better day than me. Have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend. Only 2 more days to go, and we're over the hump now. So you can have a beer in a couple of days. It's all going to be fine. Anyway, folks, right. Thanks everyone for watching. Sorry that Monday Night Raw was not very good, and sorry about the comments. Yes, cool, nice one. I'm going to stop rambling now. Thanks everyone for watching, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow for AEW Dynamite. Take care. Bye bye.